I'd like to introduce everybody up here to my left, Sandy City Mayor Tom Dolan, Mr. Deloy Hansen, Real Salt Lake owner, Utah Governor Gary Herbert to my right, NWSL Managing Director Amanda Duffy, Real Salt Lake General Manager Craig Weibel, Real Salt Lake Chief Business Officer Andy Carroll. Welcome everyone to another landmark day in Real Salt Lake history as we continue to see this evolution of Mr. Deloy Hansen's commitment to creating the infrastructure for the sport here in Utah in the midst of a $75 million build-out in Harriman for the RSL Academy. Today we make an announcement that impacts the sport as we continue to chart the future of the game here of this club and in the state of Utah. It's my pleasure to introduce Real Salt Lake owner, Mr. Deloy Hansen.
You know, could you be more excited for an event? I've had a number here. Even when Mike showed up as coach, it didn't, Mike, I just want you to feel bad that, you know, you didn't draw quite as big a crowd as professional women's soccer, but, you know, you can work on that, okay? Go. Let's go find a printer that you can work on, okay? I want to thank everyone. This is just, you can't imagine what that does for my heart and our organization's spirit to see so many people that are so excited to bring women's professional soccer here to Utah. This will be a league with 10 teams. We'll be one of the 10. As the governor says, we always punch above our weight, and we're punching way above our weight, but we now are pretty committed that Amanda's going to have to show up here and give us the trophy in September. So, you know, just we figured maybe we ought to move her office. We were talking from Chicago to Utah so she doesn't have to travel so much. But I do want to welcome all of you. Red Letter Day, very similar to when Real Salt Lake came here to Utah. And I want to take the time right now to honor Mayor Dolan. We're in a facility that would not exist, would not be here, would not be in Utah had it not been for Mayor Dolan. He's the one that stuck his hand out when everyone else said it can't be done. Put Sandy's money on the line, $10 million. Worked tirelessly to get the legislature on board and helped assemble the land in a way that this could come together and stood with Real Salt Lake. And we've now become an icon in the soccer world due to Mayor Dolan. So I'd like to just take a chance to thank him. I would not be an owner, so I'm going to tell a quick story. I came to the second professional soccer game of my life for one reason, so I could donate $1,000 to his campaign. Dave Checketts had donated the suite, and I paid for 3 people to come, and we paid $3,000, and I sat down, and I sat next to Dave, and he was talking to an individual trying to sell part of the franchise to raise money, and leaned over during that, said, maybe you want to buy a piece. And I go, maybe, never thought about it. You know, so if you got some books, I'll look at them. Looked at the books, they were pretty rough, and I said, no thank you. And finally, thinking of my time on the Economic Development Board for the state of Utah, I realized if we ever lost a professional soccer here, we'd never get it again. And right then it did take someone that needed to stand up and say, I'm going to vote for Utah, I'm going to vote for soccer to stay in Utah. And I got involved 7, 8 years ago. And it's been an absolute wonderful, amazing time to get here. So I did want to turn the time first to Mayor Dolan. And, you know, sad as great politicians go, sometimes you just don't campaign hard enough. And, you know, and so this is a very sad moment for me that I consider him Utah's mayor. I've known mayors across the state from St. George to Logan, and there is no finer mayor that has ever served in the state of Utah than Mayor Dolan. He's honest, cares about his community. He's brought great things to Sandy, and he's the spirit of Sandy. We'll have the Hale Theater, the aquarium, Real Salt Lake. I could go on and on and on, strictly because Mayor Dolan took a personal interest to make sure Sandy was an amazing city for its citizens and Utahns to spend time in. So, Mayor Dolan.
What do you say after that? Where were you in my last campaign saying those things? Anyway, I've got a good friend who used to be the president of the Senate in Utah. And I've teased him for years and said, you know, Al, you used to be somebody. And now he can say that to me. I used to be somebody. Actually, this is a wonderful day. These are the kinds of things that we hope to bring to Sandy City when we went out and got Real to come to Sandy. And it's been everything we've ever dreamed of and more under Deloy's ownership. He is so devoted to this state, to our city, and to soccer that we're here today because he wants to see that legacy continue. And I think it's going to be a huge success. I've been here for the women's U.S. team playing soccer against other teams around country teams, and it's great to see all the young women that are here and just having a great time. Soccer is huge, not just with the boys in this state, but with the girls. And I think it's a huge character builder. I'm looking forward to a really professional league that will take us to the top. I have no doubts under Deloy's ownership that we wouldn't be the national championships at some point. He wants to be it next year, but you know, this year. So anyway, I look forward to it. I look forward to coming to the games. It'll be very affordable for young women to come, and I think we'll fill this stadium. Thank you.
You know, this deal came together very quickly, didn't it, Amanda? You know, we always said Rome wasn't built in a day, but you can't blame us. We weren't the contractor. So we believe in getting things done quickly. I have the honor of introducing the most amazing governor in the United States, and I say that with total gravity, that Utah's been led for the last 8 years, 9 years, 9, 8, 8.5. I knew it was somewhere in the middle of that. By such an amazing governor that can unify us. He's not a divider, he's a unifier. He reaches to all sides. He cares that all Utahns prosper. He cares that this is a state that we are remarkably proud of. And he has made us the top economic engine in the United States for 3 years running. That didn't happen by chance. I go to California, and the political leadership there guarantees it won't be. The political leadership here under Governor Herbert guarantees that this will be. But I want to, before I introduce him, we formed the Sports Commission over 20 years ago, and I've been a founding board member. I've been on it now for over 20 years. The governor came to us with a message that Utah will be the state of sport in the United States of America. He put that message out. He backed it with real dollars. He backed it with his ability to attract major games, sports to Utah. Well, Utah is about the 33rd largest state, but we punch way, way above our weight. We have professional soccer, professional basketball, great college teams. But now we can have pride that we, in a world that is evolving towards equality between men and women, that we are at the forefront of that equal treatment, equal benefit, and equality, and he's the governor that's allowed us to do that. His sponsorship of the state of sport for Utah brings us here. Thank you, Governor. And if you could give us a few words. He's a politician. He'll have a few words.
Well, thank you, Deloy. You have a future in politics. Got the gift of the blarney there. I'm honored to be here on what, as Deloy has already said, is a red letter day. We've had a number of red letter days over the last number of years in the state of Utah, and it's a credit to the people of Utah and really the policies and the values that they stand for that's allowed us, in fact, to grow and develop in ways that have been somewhat surprising. I think for people outside of Utah, it's at least been surprising. For those of us inside of Utah, probably not as surprising. We have always been pretty ambitious and have been a successful community. We have a lot of great people that live here and call Utah home, which is really the core of our success. So this is just, I think, an amplification of what's been taking place in Utah over these last number of years. Let me, too, pay tribute to Mayor Dolan. You know, he has been referred to, I've referred to him as Utah's mayor. You know, anybody who serves 24 years as a mayor is doing something right. Local government is sometimes hard. People transition in and out. in a very quick time frame. The fact that he served for 24 years and seen some dramatic changes and expansion here economically and quality of life issues here in the great city of Sandy is a tribute to Tom's leadership. And so, again, I appreciate what you've done, Tom. And I know that you're leaving for the next one. As you pass the baton on, they're going to build on your shoulders, and things will continue to expand and become great here in Sandy and throughout the state of Utah. Let me also thank Deloy Hansen. Again, the risk takers, those who have a vision for the future and then say, I'm not going to sit on the sidelines, I'm going to do it. When he says Rome wasn't built in a day, I wasn't the contractor, he probably does believe he could have built Rome in 10 days or less. And what he's done here with the Real, what he's doing here now, bringing in National Women's Soccer League here to us in this area of Utah, is a remarkable tribute to, again, Deloy's ambition and willingness to roll up his sleeves and make things work. That's probably the secret sauce for what we're doing in Utah, is we actually empower the private sector and say, you guys know better how to get things done. Government tends to kind of get in the way and slow things down. So I appreciate Deloy for your good work. And a credit to all those who've been involved in getting us here today. This doesn't happen by happenstance. One day we wake up. This is because of people who have vision and roll up their sleeves and go to work. So I congratulate everyone who's brought us here today. Now, on behalf of this event, and again, it's my pleasure on behalf of the people of Utah to, in fact, welcome the National Women's Soccer League to Utah and anticipate it's going to be a great time for us. This is going to be a great, I guess to quote a phrase from the Broadway musical Annie, I think you're going to like it here. I really think you're going to like it here. And we're going to make sure we roll out the red carpet and do everything we can to make you not only like it here, but to make sure that you're successful. I think a lot of benefits that come from this, the National Women's Soccer League, Deloy's alluded to this, but my grandchildren, my granddaughters, all play soccer. It's been the sport of choice. And this is an opportunity for them to even aspire to greater things because of the examples of many of our professional women's soccer players are going to give to them and say, look what I can do, you can do it too. So this is an empowerment of women. I think this is a great thing today for many reasons, and I appreciate this new step in our sport franchises here in the state of Utah. Again, Deloy mentions the fact that we've coined the phrase. In fact, we have a slogan called Utah, the state of sport. You've all heard it, Utah, the state of sport. It's not just a slogan. It really is in many ways a lifestyle. We are involved in sport and athletics and outdoor recreation, healthy lifestyles that embodies this symbol of Utah, the state of sport. But it also has a practical aspect that's not lost on me, where our focus has been on economic development. We recognize that having a sports franchise here helps our economy. It does a lot of things for our community. It brings us together. We're unified. We cheer for the same team. We have a shared experience that we all build upon. We have memories that we create with our families that, again, endure way beyond the sporting event itself. But you look at what's happened here in just this location here of Sandy with the Real, and now with the women's professional soccer team coming here, what it will do even more as far as creating economic opportunity. Dollars will roll and ripple through the economy, and people will be benefited because of it. So I appreciate what this means today in so many different ways, an increasing benefit economically for our state of Utah. So I salute Deloy, a man with vision and courage to go out and implement his vision. We have a lot of visionary people that don't have the courage and the wherewithal to get it done, but Deloy has both component parts, which allows us to have great success. Again, I should acknowledge, and I think Rob Bruff is here from Zions, but I know your facility, $75 million facility in Harriman, you know, a soccer academy out there that's going to help us, again, train young people to participate in soccer. And is, again, another enhancement thanks to Deloy making our community better. So with that, let me congratulate everybody. I think it's a great date for us today. And Deloy and Real and now the women's soccer is helping Utah become synonymous with soccer. It is one of our areas where we are excelling in. I think we have more room for improvement. It exemplifies what we're trying to do to make sure everybody has opportunities in life to excel in sports and in business. And as we do this, this makes Utah become such a great place to live, to raise a family, and to do business. There's a reason we're number one. It's because of people like Dolan Hansen who have a vision and courage to implement the vision that we all enjoy and share with today. So thank you. Congratulations to one and all. Great to be here.
We'll take a quick second to have the opportunity to take a photo op in front. So if we can get everyone to step in front.
The governor really shifted his schedule to be here. He only had about 24-hour notice, so we've got to get him back on schedule.
It's my pleasure to introduce NWSL Managing Director Amanda Duffy.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you to everyone who's here today to support this exciting announcement, to Mayor Dolan, Governor Herbert, who unfortunately had to leave for the remainder of this press conference. But this is an exciting day for us. And to start with, first want to welcome Dolan Hansen, Rio Salt Lake, the entire organization to National Women's Soccer League to begin play in 2018 season. This is an organization, as Dolan has said, it moved very quickly from the start of these conversations to the execution and being able to pull this together today. And we have no doubt that there's going to be a lot of success here in Sandy and with this organization as you bring women's professional soccer to the city and to the state. Looking around and seeing the support that's here today, right now, knowing the participation of soccer at the youth level, professional level, in colleges, also our men's and women's national team, the level of support that they receive here at Rio Tinto Stadium, we have no doubt that when the RSL women's NWSL team begins play, that support's going to be matched by everyone that's here and everyone that's in this community. And align that with the support of our fans across the league as we continue to grow, have passed 500,000 fans supporting NWSL this past season. We're really excited about that. And when we look at the keys to success with any organization, we start with the ownership and certainly welcome the quality ownership that we have in Dolan and the support and staff that he's built here with RSL to make sure that this is a first-class operation and organization. We also look at the support from the community and how that's going to get behind on how we are able to, the team will be able to integrate the players into the community and gather that support, gain momentum. And we're excited about that. We certainly feel like that's here. And with the venue itself, with Rio Tinto Stadium, a venue that's state-of-the-art, one of the best in the United States, and to be able to bring National Women's Soccer League into this venue, help propel the league forward on and off the field. We couldn't be more excited to have RSL part of NWSL going forward. So thank you all and welcome RSL.
Thank you, Amanda. Next up, I'd like to introduce Real Salt Lake General Manager Craig Weibel.
First things first, thank you to Dolan for more pressure. It's just a fifth championship to chase every year, so appreciate it. You know, last night actually brought this whole thing together for me. There's been a lot of travel things happen quickly. With Deloy, I say we never get to walk, we sprint. And he lets us rest at a jog sometimes. But this all came together so fast, and it came, the realization of what this means. I have a 7-year-old daughter. To get home last night, and I get to tell her the reason Daddy's been gone is because we're bringing women to play. She was speechless, and I could see it in her eyes. She gets new heroes. So this is awesome. My passion for the women's game goes back to when I actually played professionally. Played 5 years for the Houston Dynamo before I came to the good side up here at Real Salt Lake. When I did that, Chris Houston, the head coach at Rice University, gave me the opportunity to be a volunteer with her for all 5 years. So to Chris Houston, to her assistants, Justin Zoslow, Nikki Adams, thank you, because it all comes together today. To the women that are going to don our jersey next year, March, April, January when they check in. We can't wait to have you. We can't wait to make you part of our family. You're going to be treated as professionals, play in an amazing stadium, train in amazing grounds, have a locker room that's equipped for the quality that you bring. And I can't wait to talk to each one of you through technology right now. I get to reach out briefly. I'll be in touch with each one of you shortly. And we are so excited as a family, as an organization. And once again, to Deloy, thank you for making this happen.
Thank you, Craig. Next up, I'd like to introduce Real Salt Lake Chief Business Officer Andy Carroll.
Well, thank you. An amazing 15 days culminated with a new franchise here in Real Salt Lake. So first of all, I'd like to welcome Amanda, and we look very, very forward to being one of the top teams, clubs in National Women's Soccer. You know, I'd like to thank Deloy for his commitment, his vision, to this bringing this club here. It literally emanates from his will to make things happen. You know, and I think this is the final piece for us when we talk about soccer in Utah. And I know that Deloy is, in my view, the two things that sum up my vantage point of Deloy is his commitment to excellence and his commitment to the community. And those are the two things that sometimes I wish he wasn't quite as committed to the excellence as much as he is, but he clearly, there's no question about that. But I think that his passion and his commitment to excellence in the community are this fiber that's threaded together. And I think that when we talk about, as we've talked extensively over the past 15 days, as much as you can talk in 15 days, and do in 15 days, this club will be on par with Real Salt Lake. And we wish that we had the opportunity to divulge the name and the logo, and those things will be forthcoming very, 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 very soon. But Deloy's vision for this, and we've had some advice and some insight, Portland Timbers and the Portland Thorns, we have to thank them for their for welcoming us in and giving us a lot of information with regards to making a decision in 15 days. So Merritt Paulson and Mike Golub and that team has been very, very influential in us bringing this in. But you know, to be honest, it is Deloy's vision is that this team will be treated as well or better than our Real Salt Lake. And they will play in the best locker rooms, they will play on the best fields, and they'll play in one of the top stadiums in North America as far as we're concerned. So I can tell you this is about the community. This is about community support. One of the things that's made Real Salt Lake as successful as it's been has been the community support that we've had, as well as the business support that we've had in the community. And we literally, and I say it all the time, we could not do it. We are a small market team. And this reflection of the people in this room, and there's partners here, and media partners, and youth soccer partners, and there's soccer. There are college coaches that are here, and players that are here. This is the reflection of why we will be successful. When people ask us, why do you think you'll be successful? Look at yourselves, and because this is the reason we'll be successful. Deloy's leadership, our sweat and tears, and your participation will make this a success, and I have no doubt that we will be playing for a championship come September here very, very soon. So I look forward to it in 2018. We're certainly, our organization is up to the challenge, although we, as they've heard me say, we have a short runway. We're going to launch a team in 4 months, which most people certainly would not take on that endeavor. But Deloy, this is like, oh yeah, of course we will. So we look very forward to it. Success, failure is not an option. So this will be the most successful club. Portland can hear us coming, although they invited us in. To be fair, they know that, and I think that's a testament to the ownership, not only Major League Soccer and the owners that are there that are committed to the success of that league, but the same owners that are committed to the success of the National Women's Soccer League, which, in my view, is the best women's professional sports league in the world. Not just soccer, but absolutely the best. We're committed to playing our part and to raising the level of the competition. So we say thank you, and Yadani, appreciate it. Thank you, Amanda. Welcome. Thank you. Deloy. Mayor.
Well, that was strange for me, that when I look out here and I realize I am so honored to lead amazing people. But I've always said I'm uncomfortable every time I hear my name mentioned, because this is about community. The governor said it, and I believe it. We are the coolest state in the union, and I don't say that with any reservation. We got people that will stand next to each other, behind each other. We support each other. We believe in equality. It's something I massively believe in. I have 7 daughters, and when I was raising them when they were young, I saw no boys. I saw a lot of estrogen and a lot of girls. We did a lot of tennis, we did a lot of soccer, and that was how I could relate to my daughters, as we did sports together. And I see them here in the audience, and I think, and I look at my granddaughters, and I think I want them to have every opportunity that any male would have without reservation. And we've made that a point in bringing, women's soccer here. Is the locker rooms will be equal, the food will be equal, the participation will. I honestly believe we'll fill this stadium as easily with you as we do with the men's soccer team. I absolutely believe that. So what we want to do is make this a rallying point in Utah for the evolution of equality between men and women. It's happening, it's arriving. We want to be at the forefront of that. And that is the vision that this team is to me, is women have every opportunity that we've granted sometimes in the past to men only, or men to a greater exclusivity. Title IX is a blessing to Utah. We have 6 Division I women's soccer teams, 1 Division I men's soccer team. Great players continually come out of Utah to play around the world and in professional soccer, because we are committed. I love seeing all these wonderful college students, high school students, because this is about you. This really is about you. This is your team, your place. Own it. We formed a council last night that we want the feedback from the community to tell us how we should guide this. This is not me. I get a rare chance, like the Indians, to govern this part of the land, but you do not own Real, you do not own the NWSL team. You do. I get a chance for a short period to guide it, and then it's the communities. And I'm grateful that I've had the chance to guide it. I want to thank Amanda. We've gotten to know each other under very fun negotiations, right? Yes. And it got so tiring we got quite flippant too, didn't we? They learned about all kinds of things we didn't need to learn about, didn't we? She is an amazing lady. I am so grateful that she heads this league. I absolutely believe her leadership will make this league massively great. One day I'm going to really work hard to convince her to move the national headquarters from Chicago to here. That's another day. But she is so committed to Salt Lake, and we will commit to her. We made it a point that we were putting our money in to support the league, not trying to take any out. But we needed some benefits to induce our fans to come here, and they gave us everything we needed. So I want to thank you for that massive support, that massive belief that Utah would be one of your crown jewels in your league. And thank you. I'm going to turn the time back to Dunny for questions. I have not been fined by the commissioner yet, so I really feel good about that. I've had to block myself a number of times. I always look, can we say that yet? And they all go, no. So I asked her if I could say a few things before, and she said, no. So I'm better than normal. Okay. I'll turn the time back to Dunny.
Really quick for those watching at home, all ticket info is now up on rsl.com. So all ticket info over at rsl.com. Before we have everyone break off for one-on-one interviews, I want to give everyone an opportunity here inside the club for a chance to ask any questions. So we don't have a microphone out there, but if you could just raise your hand, we have microphones up here at the dais as well. So, Rebecca. I think it's on, it might be on mute.
Hey, there we go. This is both for Deloy and Craig. You guys mentioned it a little bit, what this means to you on a personal level, but you've wanted a professional women's team in Utah for years. So what does this accomplishment and this team mean to you guys?
We honestly are 2 years ahead of schedule. We really thought 2 years from now we would be able to address this, and the opportunity came. It was amazing. We looked and said, we really don't have anything else to do we? Why don't we go do this? So it's kind of a running joke, you know, how much stress can we put on this organization, how fast, with Harriman coming on and all of the projects we have there, and then take this project on. And I cannot take my hat off enough to the staff here. I've met with them, put their heads down, and it's a can-do staff. We'll add people. We think we'll add 16 staff members across the organization, but we'll really rely on the backbone of who's already here to help lead this. But we're 2 years ahead of schedule. Now we just have to run a little faster.
Yeah, I have a slightly different version. We are 2 years ahead of schedule. That is indeed. The day that Deloy and I sat down and I accepted this position, he told me that there was a 5 to 6 year plan to bring a women's professional team in. So there's no surprises here. The only surprise was the phone call I got. Today's Thursday. That would be 15 days ago. That said, put your seatbelt on. We got on more than one airplane and had some great meetings and came out on the right side of everything in the last 14 days. But again, we're excited about it. This was always part of the plan. You're absolutely right. We're a few years early, but it's an awesome problem to have, especially from a soccer side. This is a great issue to deal with when your owner has the ambition that Deloitte does to bring a team here sooner than planned. I think it's fantastic.
Craig, will you be the GM of this team, and how will the team be put together? Primarily of the FC Kansas City players? Will there be any kind of expansion draft? How will the team be compromised?
Well, I'm not sure if we're actually assuming a team at this point or what's going on. But we'll be building the roster, and I'll be the head of building the roster. We'll be adding staff along the way. We're already set to interview. That'll give you guys all something to chase. We're set to interview a coach in the next couple days. Our top target and the coach that we definitely want is willing to listen. So we're already taking that step, and we'll be building out the staff from there. We'll be bringing in a managing director on the women's side that will report up to myself, and I'll be working with him or her to establish how we build the roster and everything goes. But yes, I'll be the general manager of the women's team as well.
Very important question. Team name. Team name.
We have a team name. We're working on a logo. We're not ready to announce a team name yet. We're working through some legal issues just to make sure that we have full ownership of the name. So we've been moving very, very rapidly. So like things like team name are kind of dragging behind a little bit. But we should hope to be able to announce a team name very, very soon within the next week. and then within that week or the next week have a new logo and new colors and a new jersey. So we'll be flying up to see Nike, who is the team the sponsor of the league with regards to apparel in the next couple weeks, and there will be many announcements to be be forthcoming in the next in the hours and weeks to come. And one of them obviously will be the team name. So we look forward to making that announcement ASAP.
And then this is Caitlin Birchall from KSL, the NBC affiliate here, and this is directed towards Amanda. My question to you is, how is pay comparative to the men's soccer league, and how are you continuing to work on leveling the playing field in that regard?
Sure. Well, I think from a pay and a compensation standpoint, there's still a pretty large gap between where players are in Major League Soccer and where we are in WSL. There was the salaries, the minimum salary last year coming into 2017 more than doubled. It's something our ownership are continuing to review and look at to make sure we're continuing to move that forward with where we are right now. Our salaries, it's a minimum salary of $15,000, a max salary of $41,700. So we're within a more constrained budget on a player salary side than what the men deal with. But it's something that we certainly recognize as an area of focus on a regular basis to be able to move that forward.
For Deloy or Andy, did you do any market research as far as the level of passion for this in the market, or is it more a gut instinct decision, and are you worried about 3 teams fragmenting the soccer fan base?
We made the decision in about 15 days, so that was the market research. Deloy has a tendency to lean very, very heavily on his gut. But it's one of the things that I see, and this is why, as I've worked for Deloy for the last 5 years, the speed with which he operates, obviously extremely intelligent to be able to make the decisions he makes within the time frame he makes. But if you want to know the difference, I'm going to give away the secret sauce right now, Deloy. The speed with which he operates is the differentiating factor. The decisions that he makes and the speed with which we operate. I mean, I would imagine, Amanda, that you've never seen a club work as quickly as we have, correct? 15 days to contract. And we're talking about 15 days from the first phone call from Merritt Paulson to Deloy Hansen, and then, everyone hangs on and does everything we can possibly. And I'd like to thank Bob Funk, actually, Deloy's general counsel, who worked tirelessly in New York to get this deal done, as well as U.S. Soccer's general counsel as well, because it was tireless work that went in to get to this culmination. But to be fair, the speed with which Deloy operates is the differentiating factor and why he's so successful. He wants everything done yesterday, and we make great strides towards that. So, and this is just another defining factor in that regard. We feel very strongly that we will be successful with the community support. We know it based on Real Salt Lake, and I know that Deloy is committed to it, and failure is not an option. Success is inevitable. And so we did not have any market research, I believe. I don't know. Did we have any, Deloy?
Deloy's optimism.
We're going. So success is inevitable.
Nationally, the league is shown on Lifetime, but as far as local airings of the local games, when the local team plays, is that going to be kind of worked out? Is that already worked out now so that we could see them every week, or is that yet to come?
That's yet to come. Our expectation, well, first of all, A&E Networks and Lifetime Channel is a massive partner with regards to the league and with U.S. Soccer. So there will be national games on Lifetime, which I believe will be on Saturday, and we'll certainly have our fair share of those Saturday games on Lifetime, the game of the week. And when we met in New York, I can tell you, this is the reason that this is the best women's league, professional sports league, is because of the partners and support that are there. And A&E Networks and Lifetime is a massive influence and has invested in the league. And their passion for this success was very evident to everyone who was in the room when we were there. We will be working with our local partners here to make sure that this is available and accessible, and that everyone is able to watch the games. We certainly encourage people to come because we think the experience is going to be world class, or we know the experience will be world class. But we certainly want with our television partners, with Sinclair and others, and that we haven't had those conversations yet, but we certainly will, and we're committed. Again, I can't reiterate it enough, for this to be on par with Real Salt Lake. So what your expectations are with regards to our media partners and distribution for our games and digital and everything will be our goal is to have it be exactly the same. So
Deloy, right here. This comes 2 years ahead of schedule, but what had to come together beforehand for you to feel like you could support a women's team, and why now?
One, the market research really was done deeper than what's said. There is actually more women participation in soccer in Utah. We put a price point that will allow everyone to participate. Largely, you can see the salaries allow us to lower the ticket prices. They're very affordable. We think that this is a family event. We think it plays into Utah's real belief that soccer is a place that most of our young women find their team building skills. And so we have more soccer participation among young women than men. So I think that's black and white. This league, this team is being built for the college students, the high school students, and the young families. This will be amazing because we're here. You can look here and you see all these beautiful young women that are committed to their team, committed to their sport, committed to improving themselves. To me, this will be their rallying point. I don't think that's going to be hard. Now, if you're a male, you could go watch the Utes play football, or BYU, or you could go to a lot of things, drag races. But I think among women, this will be their epicenter. And I don't think that takes a lot of deep research to look around Utah and think we need that rallying point. I am so believing that we're not going to build a small stadium because they're going to fill a big stadium. That's what I absolutely believe. So we've said we've got 4 months. We want everybody to recruit their friends. When we have our first game in April, I want to bury the TV that this is the loudest, proudest group. We're going to have in December, we're going to pay $5,000 to come up with the very best team chant, kind of like our Rancid chant that we have at Real Salt Lake. We're going to come up with a chant. We want somebody to really be using their brain skills to pick up a loud and proud chant that we can start to define ourselves. But we'll be successful. I don't even blink at that. We just need to let you know this is your team. Teach us how you want it to be governed. Teach us how you want it to evolve. Teach us how you want to integrate it into your community. We want to do that. With that message, I don't think we can fail. I really don't.
This is for you, Craig. So I may be speaking for every young aspiring soccer player here in Utah, but do you guys plan on having an open tryout?
I think we just signed the paperwork yesterday. And now there's definitely going to be an emphasis on local to start. I mean, we certainly have to uphold where the roster is. I know the limitations of the roster size are different. As I'm learning, both and comparing. But absolutely, I mean, we place a lot of importance on our local community and how we build this roster. And if we don't have local representation on it, I'm sure you guys will have many more questions for me the next time I have the courage to sit in front of you. So there'll be a heavy emphasis on not only promoting local talent, but scouting local talent. And as Deloy pointed out earlier, with the amount of D1 college women we have playing, with the amount of women we have playing after college in the state of Utah just because they enjoy the game, it would be a bit short-sighted of us to think that we don't have a few diamonds in the rough kind of hiding out.
We think so.
You have 10 teams here now, Commissioner. what's the grand vision for this league? How big do you think it can go? How are you as ambitious as the RSL ownership in growing this league? Where do you see that heading?
Certainly ambitious as Deloy and the entire organization, and the success that's going to be had here in Sandy, in Utah, with this women's team. For us right now, we will have 10 teams next year, and we're excited about entering the 6th season, the longest standing women's professional league, and going in with 10 teams, bringing in a new ownership. Going into the 2018 season is important for us, and the quality of the ownership, quality of the facilities, the resources that are happening. For any expansion that we do have in the future, it's got to be at the right pace that matches where we are as a league and what we have as a player pool, and making sure that everyone's coming in to continue to build at the top of this league and continue to build the stability of what we have. So excited about all of the group that we have, excited about this opportunity here, and of course with how quickly it has come together, it's exciting and inspiring for all of us to make sure that it is a success.
Anybody else? All right, I want to thank you all very much for coming and joining us for this historic day, and appreciate your time. For interviews, we'll go through Trey. He'll set up.